Hey, Rashad.
Good. My name is Rashad Milligan, man. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, this is the road to 5K subs. I can't be too long-winded on this one. And if you just celebrated because I said that, good one. But this is like after my morning meeting, so I have to hurry up and get into office and start working and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I made this video. There's a few videos that I wanted to make in the past couple days, but just didn't kind of like do it for one reason or another. But this one is one that I wanted to make for the past like 2-3 days. And it's simple as simple can be. There's not much into it. It's just what the title is. The WNBA women's basketball is growing, and it appears as if like the WNBA is kind of like, all these limes, what do I do? And that's kind of feels like what's kind of going on here. So as we go to front office sports, let me see if I can pull this up. And it's the second media thing posted. So here we go. As you guys see here, for some reason, my Twitter's been like acting wonky this morning. However, it's pretty much just saying the Atlanta Dream and the Dallas Wings sold out their season tickets already. And with the Dream, there was something going on with them a couple days ago. Like I said, I've been wanting to make this video for a couple days now. The Dream had a pre-sale where they had people sign up for single game pre-sale tickets. And so a bunch of people, a host of people, because Atlanta's like outside of just the excitement around the franchise and the organization, I think it's probably one of the cooler atmospheres in the WNBA. You know, it's a smaller arena, tight knit. So like it's kind of easier to get the more intimate, kind of intense, engaging crowd. Always, I feel like W crowds in general, like the WNBA fans are a little more kind of passionate. I don't know if passionate is the word. I'm trying to think of the word. Like they're more. I feel like it's more fun. Like the men's game, it's like the NBA is like it's more. You know, people go there for drinks. It's more of a social thing. Until the game gets good at the end, you know what I mean? Until the game gets good, or like there's some drama, like, you know, you get some blocks and then like maybe like a fight, or you know what I'm saying? Like some guys kind of have to be separated and walk back to their benches. That's when the crowd gets into it. But for the most part, it's kind of like it's like a chill night, you know what I mean? Unless it's the playoffs. The playoffs, everybody's up all game and stuff like that, and it's loud and stuff. And the WNBA, it's just fun. Like whether or not you're there for like the social kind of aspect of it or the actual basketball, like they just fun. Like, you know, they participate in the challenges. You know, at the NBA games, it's almost like it's just the kids that participate. You know, when they play the music and someone's dancing, it's like just the kids at NBA games, it feels like, that are dancing. At the WNBA games, you got like parents, like adults, you know what I'm saying, couples, everybody's up and dancing to the little challenges or whatever in between. I say all that to say, like, Atlanta does like a really good job of like W culture and everything like that, and just making a fun atmosphere. So a lot of people come from all over the country to come to Atlanta Dream games. You know, I remember just last season, it was Brittany Elena. I got to see her and speak to her. Obviously, I don't even know if I ever uploaded that on my channel. I probably did, but I can't remember. I know I posted it on Twitter. But I met Brittany Elena at a LA Sparks game out there when Brittany Garner came back. And so, you know, so to see her from LA come out to Atlanta for a game, you know, I see, obviously, I don't know if I told you guys this, but Angel, you know, the one that you guys are always like, when's she coming back on the channel? When's she coming back on the channel? Angel, I met her for the first time in person last year. You know, her and a group of like kind of committee-like people flew into Atlanta for a Dream game and stuff like that last season. A lot of people, like just a lot of people, you know, when you think of like the B. Terrells, you know, you can go down the list of Muffins and all of these like kind of big name people in WNBA Twitter. They all come down to Atlanta last year, or they all came down to Atlanta last year to watch games. I know Mark, my boy Mark, he even came down and moved down to Atlanta because he figured it was a good market for basketball and specifically the W and stuff like that. So A lot of people in the basketball world and specifically the WNBA community come to Atlanta as a hub of sorts because it's the only team that we have in the South, the only WNBA team we have in the South outside of the Dallas Wings. So outside of Texas, it's just Atlanta. It's just Atlanta. There's no teams in Florida. There's no team in the Carolinas. No team in Tennessee. And that brings me to, yes. The actual point of that. On Sunday, the pre-sale tickets go out. So it's a bunch of people excited, like a lot of those people that I just named, excited to get tickets to single games for the Atlanta Dream. And they say, oh, you can't get no games because your zip code isn't a Metro Atlanta zip code. And we're trying to cut down on resellers. So they're like, bro, when are going to open up? Renee Montgomery comes out with a statement. We'll do it shortly. Atlanta Dream come out with a statement of their own. We want to keep it to our home fans and this and that. And then it came out that, you had to wait 48 hours. Well, 48 hours passes, season tickets have sold out, and there are just a limited amount of single game tickets available. So the season doesn't start until like May 5th for the Dream. Maybe even that May 5th date might just be their first preseason game. The season might not even start till May 15th. It is currently like April 22nd. So a month out from the season, pretty much all the tickets for the season are sold out. Now you go to the Washington Mystics. The demand was so high for their game against Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston and the Indiana Fever that they have to move the game. They were looking to rent out the Wizards Center, the Wizards Arena, just to have that game there at the Wizards Arena. And it's because the demand was so high. But they saw like, okay, all right, 14,000 people want to go to this game right now. We only have capacity for 4,000. Let's move it into the arena with the 20,000 capacity, and then we can go from there. Figure it out. I don't understand why the Dream can't just put the money into renting out State Farm Arena for a couple of games. The Vegas game is going to be high. A lot of people are going to want to go there. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, a lot of people are going to want to go to those games. So why not? Just rent out State Farm for 2-3 days, especially if the schedules align with each other, and rent out State Farm. Or it doesn't even have to be State Farm where the Hawks play in the middle of downtown. You could try the North Side in Gwinnett, and you could try, the center up there. Or you could even try where you used to play when you were waiting for State Farm to be renovated a couple years ago at Georgia Tech, where there's at least a couple more thousand there. I'm sure it's not that crazy at Georgia Tech. It might be like a capacity of, if I had to guess, definitely more than 3,000 of what they have right now in College Park. I'd say probably about 5,000 to 6,000. It's nothing crazy at Georgia Tech either, but it's more than 3,000. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, I feel like these teams in Dallas is, another team, they're looking to move into the downtown area and everything like that, from wherever they are over there in Texas. It's just, I say these things. I think they're in, I don't want to say Arlington, and people are like, Arlington's 8 hours away from Dallas. You know how Texas is. But yeah, I think they're in Arlington. Anyways, they play at UTA. I think they play at UTA. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, bro. I'm from Atlanta. I ain't never been to a Dallas Wings game, but I think they play at UT Arlington. Anyways, I say all this to say the WNBA is growing, bro, at such a crazy rate. Women's basketball is such a high rate. And I don't want it to just look like, or even not just look like, but be the actual case that you can't handle the growth. And that's what it's looking like so far, right? It's looking like they can't handle the growth. Like, these people are like, are demanding, the expansion. People are begging for it to come to their cities. And like I say, it's almost like we're going back to the future, because it's like Charlotte fans want the Sting back. You know what I mean? I don't know if Portland fans want their team back, but I can imagine like the teams like Portland, Orlando, Charlotte. I know Philly's been wanting a team for a long time. I know Toronto wants a team, you know what I mean? So those are just 6 cities off top. Like, I know Tennessee would like a women's team. They wanted a women's team for a little minute. I don't know if they're going to do that for the sake of, is that going to take some thunder away from the Vols and you know, kind of like their legacy and history and stuff like that, having a pro team there, or will nobody like, will they treat them as second fiddle, or I don't know. But these are 7 cities/states that have like just said for a long time that I could think of off top that they want a team, that they want an expansion team. Oakland's getting one. You know, they're next up. So I don't know, man. The game is growing, and you know, all the teams that used to exist in the WNBA that had to fold or whatever after a couple years or relocate and stuff like that, it looks like they're coming back. It looks like they're starting to come back. That's my prediction for like the next 5 years. And then also a lot of these teams and a lot of these, you know, games, they started off at the beginning of the WNBA in the NBA arenas. And, you know, you had the curtains at the upper bowl and stuff like that. And now they've since kind of a lot of times moved to the smaller arenas, except for New York and LA. And now it's looking like, shoot, folks are probably going to move back to the NBA arenas because the game is getting so popular now. And you know, we're going back to the future. Hopefully the WNBA, you know, they've kind of learned some things from, you know, the 90s, the late 90s and the early 2000s of the Detroit Shock doesn't have a team. You know, they don't have a team anymore. So, like, bringing back the Detroit Shock. Even what the Shock became when they moved down to Oklahoma, OKC, the Tulsa Shock, you know what I mean? So, you know, there's definitely a few teams. Maybe the Stars want a team again, you know what I mean? So there are definitely a few teams that they could just bring back that were just former teams as the league grows and as the popularity grows. And then moving them into bigger arenas again. And I don't know. That was pretty much my thing. I didn't really have too much else deep to say or anything like that. But if you are new to the channel, this is the road to 5K subs. Let me know what you think about the growth of the game, the growing popularity. Should I read some comments from the last one where you guys just called me a race baiter again? Let me see. How am I going to do this? All right, I'm about to go on my page. Y'all saw them games last night. Everybody was talking about the NBA games last night. Bro, I fell asleep. I woke up at like 3, and I saw like, Jamal Murray, they came back from 20 points. I was like, it's crazy. Anyways, let me go read some comments since I'm here. You should be complaining to the black women of the community that talk and talk but don't contribute to Miss Wilson. Greg Crawford, I'm not about to be calling out some black woman, bro. I came from a black woman, bro. And he said you sound like you was raised by a single mom. Yes, I was raised by my mother. Yes, I was raised by my mother, bro. I don't know if that was supposed to be a dig of like telling me that I don't have masculine traits or something like that. But yes, I was raised by my mother. And Pretty Ugly was pretty much on board with me, South Carolina fan, saying like, yeah, she definitely needs that. Other people saying, yeah, she needs it. My boy Don was speaking it into existence. Angel Reese probably gonna get one at Reebok. And yeah. Tight stuff. Greetings, Rashad. Much respect to you for your legwork and research between your busy schedule. We sincerely miss you and look forward to your segments. You do your research. I told you so with the high school recruiting. And unlike these other channels, I ain't gonna do that. But like I told him, I appreciate it. I appreciate the love always. He always shows love. Caitlin Clark will sell product. Her jerseys are getting drafted and sold out within minutes. So the Angel Reese's. Everybody is a victim now. And then I said, post your real name right now. Oh, snap. Asia Wilson has her own shoes. She's gotten 3 versions of the Nike cosmetic already, and they're working on another one. And that was pretty much just me saying, like the shoes. He said gave. Yeah, I would say gave because like they chose not to give Asia Wilson a shoe. And I think Asia Wilson deserves a shoe. And that's not to say that Caitlin Clark doesn't deserve a shoe. You know what I mean? None of these girls garner her attention. I think I think you could definitely make a strong argument for that because the most watched women's basketball games on the collegiate level were Caitlin Clark's last 3 games. So you can't say no, that's not true. You can't say that. However, I do think there are women who garner just as much attention, if not less attention, than Asia who got shoes. So I think that's kind of like a point too. Nike's not for everyone. Asia should not sign. Go where you are wanted. Someone said New Balance. And then so this guy, he's calling everybody a dipstick. He called me one too. Dipstick. Nobody really wears New Balance or even wears Reebok. You go with market leaders, Nike, and then Under Armour. Who was wearing Under Armour before Steph Curry? Who was wearing Under Armour before Cam Newton? Click clack. That was 2011, brother. Who was wearing Under Armour before Deion Sanders? That was like 2012, brother. So who was wearing these brands in 2009? What you have to understand is, bro, it ain't about the, like, I ain't gonna lie. It is partly about the brand, so I won't say that fully. But it's mostly like the athlete. The athlete, the person, are they marketable? Are people gonna like them? And I think that's just how it goes, bro. If people like you, they're gonna follow you wherever. Like, I think Kanye is the best kind of example of that. Like, Kanye would say, you know what I mean? He's obviously probably most controversial figures in pop culture ever. However, like, he does have such a large cult following, and people will buy a shoe that looks like a sock from Kanye. Whether it's Yeezy independent, whether Yeezy's under Adidas, whether Yeezy's under Nike, people are going to buy it. And they're going to buy it however it looks because it's Kanye and they like Kanye. I was speaking to, who was I speaking to about this? My boy that travels and does intellectual Black thought conversations and stuff like that. But I was speaking to him about that like last year and stuff like that. This is the Miles Morales one. Does it really matter? And I was like, yes, because it's money. and that's why we're having the discussion. It's because of money. It's not just because of attention and like, oh, this person's getting more attention. It's because the attention like leads into more money and more money opportunities. So like there's a pay gap. You care about pay gaps, right? Like that's what we talk about in politics. It's election year. Joe Biden speaking at HBCU's graduation. And they're inviting what I was about to say the Color Purple cast, but what is it? A different world to the White House, and the rappers Fat Joe and everybody like that posted up. And Trump's got his the Blacks for Trump making music videos and stuff like that. Blacks for Trump. I also highlighted them on this channel. That's how you know it's an election year when they pander like that. But anyways. Let me get out of here, man. I went on 8 more minutes than I should have. Y'all be easy. Y'all have a great day. Got the clock going up on a Tuesday. Got your girl on the cause she choosing. Clock going up on a Tuesday. Got your girl in the cause she choosing.